I worry that right now we're approaching what's happening in the United States, or for that matter, around the world, as if all we have to do is just get over this one hump. We have to flatten this one curve one time. If you're in New York City, or Detroit, or New Orleans, or any other area like that, that is first and foremost. It is a crisis that you could never have imagined before. And what we must not forget in the first instance, if we go back and look at the 1918 influenza pandemic, and I'm making the assumption that this will act much like that, while there was an early spring wave that caused significant illness and deaths, it was superseded by a fall wave that occurred that was much larger. And that was the one that was the heavy impact in terms of both cases and deaths in 1918. But what also we forget to remember is that 1919 and 1920 continued that pandemic, that you saw waves that occurred in both years throughout the world, including the United States. And some places had as many as 3 different waves of activity that occurred. And so I raise this because I don't want to minimize for a moment what's happening in the United States or around the world with these hotspots and the transmission. What I worry about today is that we don't have that long view, that this is in fact a marathon, not a sprint. And while those who have been in the heat of these very intense transmission fires, like in New York, New Jersey, in Chicago, New Orleans, etc., they can't even imagine, I'm sure, that they've got 18 or more months of this, and that they have potentially even bigger waves yet to come. But that's the reality. Now, the only thing that's going to save us from this is going to be a vaccine. That will be the one game changer that will fundamentally change what's happening. If we can get that, that would be great. But I think we can't at all count on a vaccine arriving anywhere before 18 to 20 months.